Didn't dominate things earlier.
They had a hard time coming out of the heat race directly, but again, same thing as Houston's. One thing about Jeff Emig, that guy can't be counted out. He's a good closer. He's always been solid. The longer the day goes on, the longer the season goes on, he gets better.
Can Ezra Lusk make it 2 in a row like Villeman did in the 125s? Lusk will be joined by Mcgrath, Craig, Button, Huffman, Wyndham, Henry, Ferry did a great job in qualifying. Emig, Hughes, Albertine, Michael Brown, Larry Ward, Buchon, Lawrence, LaRocco, Heath Foss, Jean-Sebastian Roy from Canada, Kyle Lewis, and Lance Smale. We've got a veteran lineup ready to go. As the board is sideways, it'll drop any minute. $1,500 for the whole shot winner. Oh, look at the charge. Who can it be? Michael Craig, number 13 to the inside. Emig crosses the line first, but Michael Craig gets the lead. So Emig will get the whole shot money. Michael Craig. Here comes Jeremy Mcgrath, just blazes by Emig. Mcgrath in second place.
Another super start for Craig. That's what he needed to get. And Mcgrath did a beautiful job to control the inside of that first corner. Not the greatest start. Very wise through there. And look at it. Got a great look at the lead right now.
Craig, Mcgrath, Henry, and Emig are battling it out for third. It is Jimmy Button in fourth, Ferry in fifth, Michael Brown in sixth.
If Mcgrath thinks he's going to win here tonight, he cannot wait. Craig can ride hard enough and keep Mcgrath back there. Mcgrath has got to attack, get around him any way he can right now, or it's going to be a long main event for him.
Can I tell you guys something? Right there, great pass by Mcgrath. Sorry, it was a bad time to cut in. Saw Mcgrath riding aggressive. Now he's going to run.
Jeremy Mcgrath takes over the lead from Honda Troy's Michael Craig, I should say. So the Chaparral is out in front. Let's check it out, 52, that's his lap time.
Yep, keep him focused on going fast. Lusk passed Emig in that corner where he made the pass in practice the same exact way. I thought, I don't know if that's too smart. You're tipping your hand right there. Emig can cover that later on tonight.
With 17 laps to go, let's go to Davey Coombs.
I'll tell you what, I was taking a look at the back of the pack and watch what was happening. And actually, Ryan Hughes fell, but guys, Suzuki's woes continue. Pichon and Albertine and Ward are all like 15th or worse. I don't know what's going on there in the yellow truck, but just a horrible start to the main event here in Tempe.
Jeremy Mcgrath is pulling out a lead right now. More than 50,000 fans watching Mcgrath, Craig, Lusk, and Emig. And right there, Lusk makes the move on Michael Craig.
Same place he got passed by, or the same place he passed Emig, I meant to say. Great place to make the move after the whoops are so tired going to that corner. You tend to relax a little bit, and that's where he attacked.
But does he have the time to make up 5 seconds on a very, very tight Jeremy Mcgrath as we take another look?
Plenty of time left. Right there, you see nothing Craig could do there to retaliate. Just keep his balance because he knew that exiting that corner, Lusk would be in the way. Just take his time, right out there in third.
And here is our leader, Jeremy Mcgrath.
2.5 seconds. Ezra is closing, and we still got 5 laps to go. Goose, I know you want to watch your guy, but can you take a moment to tell us what's gotten into him, because he is really closing down here in the last half.
Yeah, I think he's staying pretty consistent. I think Jeremy just made a couple mistakes on the last lap, and he got a little bit of time on him.
You got enough time to win this thing?
We got 5 laps to go. We're going to wait and see.
Yeah, he's got a little smile on his face.
Absolutely right. With 3 laps to go, can Ezra Lusk pick up on Jeremy Mcgrath? Lusk now is about 6 bike lengths as they go through the whoops.
Whoa, Lusk all out of control, but he wants it bad.
He's hanging on.
Ezra
Lusk is putting his heart into it.
4 more top lap riders coming up. You see how good it did for Lusk that time. He's going to have Brown, and he's going to have Albertine he's going to lap next.
Boy, adrenaline right now is at an all-time high. The crowd is into it. You can barely hear.
Albertine, number 7. Mike Brown, number 100, as Jeremy Mcgrath has Ezra Lusk right on his back cover. And Ezra Lusk collides with Jeremy Mcgrath. The bump and run. That's what you got to expect on this track. Ezra Lusk has taken the lead from Jeremy Mcgrath. Here comes Jeremy right back in the timing section. Jeremy Mcgrath, Ezra Lusk. Ezra Lusk is out in front. Noses out. Will Mcgrath put it to him?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, sir. Turnabout's fair play, but Ezra slips it and now has a pretty good clear shot.
McGrath's got to run at the whoops. McGrath's been exiting the loops fantastic that particular time through. Lusk got a great burst of power. If McGrath can't get any closer than this, he won't be able to do anything. He's got to get right there, take advantage of anything that...
Let's take another look at both of those passes now, and we'll keep you posted verbally.
Well, let's stop the finish line jump. The first one, Lusk. McGrath just left that door a little bit too far open. Lusk went in there. He looks back like, sorry, dude, I had to get in there and make the pass. McGrath right here, across the inside.
It's the white flag lap. Here comes Lusk and Jeremy. Bar to bar. Lusk trying to get around the lappers. Jeremy bar to bar with Lusk through the timing section. Lusk just barely noses out with good timing and good power.
Now right here, Lusk doesn't know what to do. It's a slow race through every corner because they've got to protect that line.
This is the final lap. Can Ezra Lusk make it 2 in a row? Can Jeremy Mcgrath win his first race of the season? Becoming only the second rider in Supercross history to make a win on 3 different brands. But Ezra Lusk now has the advantage. Let's check it out as they approach Albertine now.
The last corner is going to be interesting. McGrath's got to get a little closer, but the last corner is wide open.
Ezra Lusk takes the inside line. The checkers for Ezra Lusk. Ezra Lusk winning his 4th career victory. His first ever back-to-back Supercross victory. Oh my goodness. Last year's 2 wins, Orlando and Pontiac separated by a 3rd in St. Louis. And look at there, Jeff Stanton, Mike Gosler. Is that a happy bunch? Ezra Lusk got here in Phoenix without his luggage. He had a 2-day growth beard. He actually looked older than he does with that baby face of his. He had to borrow knee braces to practice yesterday. Puts on the goggles. It's hard to contain him. And as high as Ezra Lusk is right now, I'm sure Jeremy Mcgrath, who takes over the points lead, quite possibly, I haven't added him up yet, Jeremy Mcgrath is probably extremely disappointed right about now after one of the great crowd-pleasing races of the year. We'll be right back. Marty Reed has the wonderful pleasure of talking with both these young men. As Jeremy Mcgrath, you see, great sportsmanship. He knows he's in the hunt. We'll be right back with their comments. Outstanding competition as we take a look at Jeremy Mcgrath, who was leading this race. Ezra Lusk made the important move, but the lappers became even more important. Lusk, the winner, Mcgrath second, Craig third, Emig fourth, Huffman fifth. Then it was Wyndham, LaRocco, Hughes, Pashone, and Button. Let's go down to Marty Reed.
Down here with the winner, a very happy 2 times in a row. You realize you've gone from 16th place after round 1. You're now in 3rd place in the points. Nice ride.
Well, thanks a lot. You know, I want to thank the good Lord Jesus Christ for keeping me safe, first of all, and Honda and Dunlop and Fox for getting me out of that starting gate good. And, you know, I don't know what to say. I tried to ride as smooth and as smart as I can. I knew Jeremy was hauling button his heat race, and we made a couple little changes, and I just tried to get my flow back. I wasn't flowing very good at all in the heat race, and I was able to catch Jeremy at the end of the race, and we were quite aggressive there at the end, but it was a lot of fun.
Let's move over here. As you take the champagne, move over here and get Jeremy Mcgrath. And Jeremy, I got to tell you, I know you're not real happy with 2nd place, but it was thrilling for all of us to watch, and the fans were literally jumping out of their seats.
Yeah, it was a really good race. Ezra rode a strong race. I mean, the lappers were terrible at this track, and I know he was catching me a little bit, but, you know, towards the end, the lappers weren't moving. They weren't obeying the flags, and you know, I mean, there was a group of them ahead of me, and they were battling, but, you know, I was still in the lead, and they should have moved, and I think that probably attributed a little bit to my slowness towards the end. But, I mean, overall, I was fast all night. I felt really good, and have to just go get them next week.
Well, the bad news is to you, you know, you finished in 2nd place. The good news is you got the points lead.
Yeah, that's the good part. I haven't had a points lead in the Supercross series in over a year, and, I mean, I'm happy about that for sure.
And, guys, that could be a frightening thought if we think back 2 years ago.
Number 17, if he won the 125 National, he said that I'll shave off all my hair everywhere. but he hasn't got a return bet from Lammy yet.
No,
30-second board. 30-second board is up. We're just about set to get the main event from St. Louis underway. Jeremy Mcgrath. There you see Ryan Hughes, number 10, next to Ezra Lusk. Kevin Windham getting ready now as the board is sideways, and they're off in St. Louis. Supercross main event underway. Look at number 8, Kevin Windham, and Pichon, number 16. Mikel Pichon has got a good start. He is tough when he gets the good start. And Jeremy Mcgrath moves into second on Kevin Windham. Windham coming right back on the inside, but Jeremy shuts the door.
I don't believe Mcgrath got back ahead of Windham. That was the plateau Jeremy was talking about, jumping off of. Windham did it. Looked like he had that past May, but boy, it's a little bit risky.
Larry Ward goes down, number 4, and look at the good start Mike LaRocco has gotten now. He's in for it.
Well, you know what I like about his start was he lined up all the way to the inside. He was the far inside gate, just to the inside of Windham. What happened, everybody got pushed wide, and all Mike had to do with a mediocre start was creep around the inside.
And Mcgrath moving back.
Ezra starting to close on LaRocco a little bit. Ezra knows he's got to stay in contact with Mcgrath. Even if he stays behind LaRocco and they both close, that's good, but he's got to make time because in a few more laps, that gap gets any bigger. Ezra's shot at a victory here is goodbye.
Boy, it's a heck of a story. Mikel Pichon with a 3-second lead, and the battle for second is on. Mcgrath and Windham bar to bar. As we're taking a look at LaRocco and Lusk.
Well, that's going to give Windham a big boost of confidence to be able to pass Mcgrath. Stay with him and pass him. Mcgrath trying to come out wide, but Windham went just wide enough to stay out of his way.
Windham feeling that we're letting Pichon get away.
Maybe go like 98 or 99%. Just free yourself up from those mistakes, and you actually end up going faster in the end.
Coming up with the finish line jump, he's got about a 10-second lead on second place as we look back to second. And we've got a battle going on. It's Mcgrath, LaRocco, and Ezra Lusk. Two very fast Hondas. Behind Mcgrath on the Chaparral Yamaha.
Mcgrath getting a great jump down that straightaway, making up a lot of time. Seems like whenever they get close to him, he pulls something out of his sleeve and opens that gap back up and can relax a little. He's also brilliant at figuring out the right place and the right line to take, negotiating the lappers.
Here's the battle between Lusk and LaRocco.
LaRocco getting a little sideways out of that corner. Now Lusk doesn't really have anything to lose. It's forever back to the next position, which is, I believe, Mike Brown.
And you see Windham going the other way on the shot with a tremendous lead.
Yeah, these guys aren't thinking about Windham. They're just trying to win the battle they're in. Seconds up for grabs right here.
About an 8-4 lead for Windham. Mistake there by Jeremy Mcgrath, but LaRocco just couldn't take advantage of it in the corner. Here comes Ezra Lusk, moving LaRocco back to fourth. LaRocco with 3 fourth-place finishes already on the season. Wants it back, but then he makes a mistake, and Ezra Lusk has a clear field.
And this changes things a little bit, because Lusk perhaps was being held up just a little bit, unable to find a way around LaRocco. By no means is riding a bad race, but now he's on the back tire of Mcgrath, and he is going to challenge.
Whoa, hold on. Ezra wants second place in front of Jeremy.
This will be like a win for him, just to get ahead of Jeremy and prove that he can come from behind and pass him.
Well, he might not have to shave off the mustache, but Ezra is gunning behind Jeremy Mcgrath, and this is going to be a great race within a race.
Although these guys are in a great battle, they're 9 seconds away from the leader, Windham, who just continues to ride perfect laps.
It would take a major disaster for Windham to lose this race.
Look at the different timing through here. Totally different idea. Lusk to the outside. Gets a little front-end wash. Has to stick his foot out to save it. Here and there, Lusk is on the edge, but that's what it takes to come from behind and challenge the best rider in the world.
Ezra Lusk on the podium last week, made 3 of the last 4 podiums. He's on the way to making another podium, but he would surely like to pick it up a notch. It's been some time since Ezra has seen that win column, since back-to-back victories in January.
This is a real mental battle right here. It has nothing to do with riding. Both these guys can ride excellent. There's only 2 laps to go. Randy telling Jeremy, just focus. Don't think about that guy. Don't ride his race. ride your own and pull away from him. Well, I'm sure they're telling Lusk the same thing. Hey, focus. You can get this guy. You've beat him before. It's all head games right now. Whoever wins this battle will take that confidence into the next couple of rounds.
Our leader continues to be Kevin Windham in a phenomenal run in his first year, adding to their super year. And this is the final lap, the white flag lap for Kevin Windham.
Kevin gets to go by and see that huge smile on Allie. You know he's happy.
This could be the 8th win in a phenomenal year for Yamahas.
You know, talking to Jeremy after last week, he said, I couldn't give Kevin that win last week. I had to reach back and ride as hard as I could go because I know what it's like when you get those 2 wins and get that ball rolling, and he's going to get it rolling here tonight.
Kevin Windham in New Orleans in first place, Jeremy Mcgrath in second. Last week at the Metrodome, it was reversed. Mcgrath in first, Windham in second. And I just kidded. Windham saying, hey, it's your turn, is it not?
It's a good ride by both these guys. Mcgrath for holding off Lusk, and Lusk for coming from behind and putting the pressure on like he has. It's not over yet, but it looks like Jeremy has won this battle.
Here comes Kevin Windham.
Oh.
Kevin Windham.
Oh, they both go down.
Lusk stays up. Lusk in second as Windham gets some of the glory taken away from his checker flag as Ezra Lusk takes second place.
I don't think Jeremy's going to be real happy about that, but he left the door wide open. Lusk rode right across the inside, very gently bumped him, and they went down. Lusk got up first.
LaRocco taking third, his best of the year. Take another look now.
Okay, Jeremy all the way to the outside. Here comes Lusk right across the inside. Jeremy knew he was close. Lusk did a good job to keep it going. I know Jeremy's not real happy. Lusk is not his favorite person right now, but you know, he went wide, so I guess he's gonna have to look at that and say, next time I gotta protect it.
This is going to be an interesting conversation. I heard the fans booing. Now, they've already talked about the crash. Take us through your impression of what happened.
Well, if you guys were watching me and Mike, we were doing the same thing to each other in corners. And, you know, what can I say? It was the last lap, you know, 2 turns to go. I came in a little bit too hot and ended up in Jeremy's rut. I mean, he should have been watching. He knew I was right behind him. But, you know, it's just an aggressive race, and I had to do it to get second. And I'm tired of finishing third and fourth, and I'm back 100% now. And I'm going to do what it takes to get back up top. You know, I don't care. I just want to win.
He wasn't too pleased. He gave you a couple gestures. Is this going to start building a heated rivalry here?
I hope not, because I have all the respect in the world for Jeremy. You know, I know he don't believe me, but I believe if I'm not the champion, then he deserves it, you know, the most. And but I'm kind of disappointed. You know, it sucks, but it happened. And if I had to do it again, I would do it again. You know, that's racing.
Well, guys, we'll get our answer next week.
David Bailey, you know, it's an emotional game. There's no question about it. But in your day, you saw that all the time, no matter if they're battling for 16th or 4th.
You just expected it, you know. I mean, I sure as heck didn't go wide when I had Johnson or Ward, or especially Bob Hanna behind me. And Jeremy knows, and he learned that lesson in Phoenix when he left the door a little bit open. I don't even think he really left it open, but Lusk came in there, and Jeremy said, okay, now that I know where he's coming from, I'll protect it. And he had an opportunity to protect it there, and he didn't. And I think he's got to be looking at what he did there and thinking, well, next time it'll definitely be different.
Art Ekman along with David Bailey and Marty Reed. Hope you can be with us from Pontiac in our next telecast. AMA Supercross, a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
If I have the opportunity to do it again, I will. It's just the way it goes. I want to win. Sign is sideways now.
Let's see who can get the whole shot. And the big jump here from the Silverdome as we are underway. Jeremy Mcgrath, good positioning, goes wide. It's Jeremy Mcgrath with the whole shot.
Here we go. Couldn't have set this up much better. Jeremy and Lusk.
Number 3 is hungry for victory.
Lusk will right here try to stay in contact, keep the pressure on, make Jeremy think about him a little bit, and hopefully take it to the end. Jeremy's gone down. Right
Jeremy is down
line.
right before that finish line jump. And Jeremy gets clipped by Lewis.
Handlebars are broken completely off the motorcycle.
So Mcgrath, who came into this race with a 52-point lead on Kevin Windham, a 68-point lead on Ezra Lusk, takes the helmet off and dejectedly walks back toward the pits.
Jeremy, what in the world just happened? Well, I was riding good out there. I felt really good and kind of went over that jump a little. Came up short, just a hair, and it kind of pitched me over. When I landed, my handlebars were off. They like hit the ground so hard that they broke. So the clamp underneath the sun, I don't know, the handlebars were not on my bike.
Ezra Lusk is our leader. Second place, Ezra Lusk, his third win of the year.
Number 3, he's the man that can make a difference in this championship.
That's the only reason he's here. He's riding in pain. His separated shoulder hasn't had time to fully heal. He's numbed it up. Told me that every time he goes through that whoop section, it's killing him, but he wants to do anything he can to put the pressure on Mcgrath. You never know what can happen.
Held up for just a second there as they move down toward the start. We're waiting for that 30-second board. They hold that up well ahead of the riders after checking with each one to make sure he's started and ready to go. That starts the countdown. Then they turn the board sideways, and about 5 seconds later, the engines rev and the Furies are unleashed, and it's a very special time for that. The 30-second board goes up. Very special time because the crowd here anticipates a historic run, a battle for the championship that, if it goes right for Jeremy Mcgrath, means a 5th, unprecedented 5th championship. Final moment of consolation for Ezra Lusk, number 3. You're absolutely right. It is showtime. And the showman that everybody's expecting great things from is Mcgrath. But of course, there are 20 laps ahead. Ford is sideways. Focus now down on the gate. We watch Jeremy Mcgrath as he works his way into the corner. Just grabs the whole shot, just barely over Ezra Lusk. Larry Ward in 3rd.
Button has
and
gone
Jimmy
down.
Button drops the bike.
He started just next to Jeremy Mcgrath, so moments ago they were side by side. Now his teammate's out front. He's dead last. He couldn't have written a better script for this.
Oh, and the battle now beginning to develop at 3rd. You look at 1st, that's Mcgrath, then 2nd, there he comes, but look at this. As the 4-stroke Yamaha has moved now into 3rd place around Larry Ward and is beginning to battle with Ward. So number 19, Doug Henry, the blue Yamaha, is making his move. Watching Mcgrath.
This is where Lusk has got to put the pressure on Jeremy, force him into a mistake.
Oh, and that's what he's working on. Lusk putting the pressure on. And Lusk comes to the inside.
Right there, the timing Lusk had to choose to stick the wheel on the inside. It was a little slower down that straightaway, but he stays surprisingly close. If he were to force Jeremy into a mistake, which is you think is unlikely, Jeremy's more clever than that. Jeremy could go down, lose a lot of positions in the early going, give Lusk a chance to take this championship all the way to Vegas.
Off that tough technical section, Mcgrath stumbles just a bit, but then is able to get off the corner and into the jumps nicely. And in doing so, pulls away a bit from Ezra Lusk.
Top 3 using the outside in that corner just before the finish line to triple the section coming into the big plateau.
Now Lusk under pressure, and the pressure comes from the 4-stroke Yamaha of Doug Henry.
Lusk getting sideways, trying to make things happen in the whoop section. The one real separator out here on the racetrack where you can make up or lose a lot of time going for it. He loses the time. Lusk is in shape. I know he's got the fitness, but he hasn't been able to train like he normally does with that shoulder injury. You can see he got a little sideways there and had to stop to keep him going off the racetrack. Gave up 2nd to Henry.
2nd place rider, that's Doug Henry, number 19, and there he comes. 4-stroke engine. Not as quick on a response, but a nice wide power band.
And it's an advantage here and there. Doug says in places it's better, in other places it's worse. He's getting a good run through the whoops right here on Jeremy. He said because of that more wide power band, it's tougher to find exactly the right place. His timing is a little off here and there because he's got so much more power to work with. Sometimes he finds himself over jumping things, which fouls up his timing down the rest of the straightaway.
So in the fight for the championship, Jeremy Mcgrath is leading, and his only contender sits back in 3rd place. We'll be back. Lusk on the number 3 red Honda is now beginning to close in on the second place Yamaha of Doug Henry. You see the interval there as they come across that white line laid across the track to determine the hole shot as they came out of the gate. You see how close they are now.
Ezra Lusk is notorious for making a last lap charge. If he stays this close, he'll have that opportunity. And Doug, although he has a few tricks out there, a couple of different lines where he's going fast, unable to really put a serious threat to Mcgrath. He's just there in case Mcgrath makes a mistake, and he rarely does.
At the moment in that whole fight for the championship, Mcgrath is exactly where he wants to be. He wins this thing, it's his. He stays in front of Lusk, it's his. And right now, that's beginning to go through his mind.
He'd like to win the whole enchilada here. Here comes Doug.
Right there, slower rider works into the contest. Mcgrath almost gets him. Doug Henry goes to the lead. Mcgrath coming right back at him. Boy, are we looking at the end of the era for the two strokes? Yamaha certainly is going to have wonderful power next year with both available. Henry stretches it out a bit. Mcgrath comes back on him. Mcgrath comes back and gets around him. Mcgrath back to the lead.
An unbelievable display between these amazing athletes, the ability to leap through traffic, have this battle, two completely different engine packages. These guys are just locked in a battle.
12 laps to go. 20 the scheduled distance. Here he comes again, Doug Henry, back past the leader. In a very difficult section. That wide power band paying off?
Well, he hooks up better in the slippery surfaces. In that roof section, each face of all those moguls, most people would probably understand a little bit better because they're about 2.5, 3 feet high. They're slippery. Mcgrath is getting wheel spin, and it's causing him so much more trouble to try to keep forward momentum. That 4-stroke hooks up on all the tops of him, and he maintains a nice flat line, able to stay on the tops.
Doug Henry, what a great story he has become. Here comes Mcgrath challenging again. Henry left just a little racing room to the inside, but Mcgrath couldn't take advantage of it. Halfway point, 10 laps complete, 10 to go.
Hard to believe this is only half over. This is when you start to get a little tired. And Lusk is still back there. Still
exhausting to watch. You can imagine what it's like being on the bike.
I can remember, and believe me, you're getting tired. You can hear the crowd get into it. Every time Mcgrath does something a little different in second place, Doug can hear the crowd react, and he's wondering what's going on back there, and vice versa.
Doug Henry leads it, followed by Mcgrath. Ezra Lusk sits in third space. Davey Combs, what's the story on Lusk?
Well, actually, I'm down here with Randy Lawrence. Randy, is Jeremy going to play a conservative? Do you think he's going to get back after Henry?
I'm sure he's going to go for it. He's never just going to let him go like he just went back into the lead. So I don't know. I mean, it's a long race. We're just about halfway done. So.
Well, he can lean out to see that Jeremy goes back to the lead as he comes around Doug Henry.
Now it's turning into a three-way battle as Doug and Mcgrath play cat and mouse here.
And Lusk is right there as well on that red number 3 Honda. Again, traffic now the factor.
It will become a major factor from here on out. The most privateers ever in a main event, 12.
So it's Mcgrath, Henry, Lusk. At Texas Stadium now, Jeremy Mcgrath back in the lead, but he is constantly haunted now not only by Doug Henry, who has led several times, but Ezra Lusk is closing in as well. And look at Lusk. Lusk makes the move down to the inside and moves into second place. Henry comes right back.
I'm amazed by Lusk and what he's able to do. I'm amazed by all of these guys. For Doug to be riding that well on this track, the most technical track in the last 4 or 5 rounds on that 4-stroke. For Mcgrath to be under the pressure he's under and still be able to battle like this, and for Lusk with a shoulder injury he hasn't been able to heal, He hasn't been able to train properly during the week. He hasn't ridden all week. And to be able to crank it up, turn 58-second lap times is amazing.
Now Lusk going for everything he can to try to put himself in the champ position. He moves to the front and pulls away. Oh, what a nice move.
I think Mcgrath could feel him coming right. Oh, Lusk almost losing the front end right there. These guys are riding the ragged edge. Lusk is for sure. Mcgrath is a little bit more reserved. He knows even if he stays where he is, championship's still looking good.
Championship still belongs to Jeremy Mcgrath if he can stay there, but he can't afford to slip much more.
He'll stay where he is, and I don't know if team orders would be coming into play here, because Doug Henry is on a Yamaha. Maybe he just would stay in third, make sure Jeremy gets that title. It's been a long time since Yamaha had it.
Ezra Lusk, a well-disciplined athlete, riding the race of his life out in front, and hopefully can make some headway in the championship. But to do so, Lusk has done everything that he can. Now something would have to go wrong for Jeremy Mcgrath. We'll be back.
Weeks, guys that have been out front have gone down hard.
2 laps to go for Ezra Lusk. 2 laps to go for this man, Jeremy Mcgrath. He stays there. He's the champion. Boy, what a terrific battle it's been. Mcgrath has had to earn it, and what a marvelous performance by Ezra Lusk. And that's what this AMA Supercross event is all about, and it's why it's so loved by its fans.
You know, looking at the top 3, if they stay the way they are, Lusk is going to be happy with his win. He did everything he could. It was a hard-fought battle. He had to come from behind and pass these guys. Jeremy will be, of course, happy with his 5th Supercross title, and Doug Henry getting up in there and taking over the lead from the winningest Supercross rider ever on that 4-stroke. I think we're going to see smiles all the way across.
White flag. 1 more lap to go for Ezra Lusk. Unchallenged at the moment by 2nd place, Jeremy Mcgrath. There he is on his way to a championship.
This will be a long lap. Goes by his teammate Jimmy Button. Button is aware of the situation, sees Lusk go by, sees that his teammates in second, knows that's the championship.
Jeff Emig, the reigning champion in the last seconds of his reign. Unable to race tonight because of injuries, but happy, I'm sure, to see Jeremy Mcgrath do it once again. The winningest driver in this rider in the sport. And now he already begins to salute the thousands of fans that are here to see him take the championship.
On to the next triple. The fans were on their feet waiting for one more knack-knack this year. Probably a little too tired for it right now.
Here comes Lusk. There's the checkered flag. Lusk takes the win, and Mcgrath takes the championship. Jeremy Mcgrath on his Yamaha takes the championship, salutes the crowd, reaches out to his teammate Jimmy Button alongside, and there comes Ezra Lusk, the winner.
Lusk has all the respect in the world for Jeremy Mcgrath. Goes up, one of the first ones to get to him, say good job. He said before that if he couldn't win the title, he feels like Jeremy deserves it the most.
Art Ekman, you've been watching with McGrath's mechanics.
Has really remained an unspoiled kid. I guess I could call him a kid. I was doing this 10 years ago.
And there it is. He already declares his championship with the #1 hat. Jeremy Mcgrath is the AMA Supercross champion for 1998. We'll be back to talk with him.
Very pleased to present you with the #1 plate that you've had for so long, and you finally got it back. Congratulations.
Well, thanks a lot. You know, first of all, I'd like to thank Team Chaparral, 800 Collect, Mazda, Fox, Dave Dameron, my family, my sister, all my friends, you know, Yamaha, Team Yamaha, Bridgestone, and especially Pace Motorsports. They did a great job for us.
What can you do to improve it next year? Can we expect the old Jeremy to be back again? 1999 going to be your year again?
Well, I hope so. You know, I've had a great season this year. I've won 6 races, and, you know, I had a few bad races the last 2 weeks in a row, and kind of knocked my confidence a little bit. So after I had a little battle with Doug out there, I kind of get a little tired, and then I decided it'd probably be best just to stay on my bike rather than try and go crazy and go for the win. And so that's what I try to do.
Well, smart strategy and paid off with the title. Congratulations.
Well, everyone, you know who you are that's out there, that's my sponsor. And, you know, I'd like to thank ESPN, ABC Sports for putting us on TV. And, you know, I don't know what else I can say. It's just fabulous to win the championship again.
With Honda.
Yeah, you know, things are just getting better. And if I can stay healthy at least half the season, then I'll be in there for the championship next year. But I'm really happy with the bike and the team for sure, and I'm really, really looking forward to the outdoors and to next year.
I assume with your separated shoulder and riding through so much pain the last couple of weeks that you're going to bypass Las Vegas the final round.
Yeah, it looks that way. I think we're going to go back and talk about it, but I think we are. I'd rather be ready for San Bernardino. And, you know, there's only so long you can go out there and be an Ironman, you know, and tough it out. And I tried my best. I took it down to the last race, and at least I tried.
And congratulations to both Jeremy Mcgrath on his championship and his 5th #1, and of course to Ezra Lusk with a magnificent run, but did everything he could. Still, he couldn't keep this man from charging and taking the championship. And now you see why this sport is gaining popularity by leaps and bounds. AMA Supercross. It's your neighborhood. Make sure you drop by for a view. It is well worth it.